Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to carry on where we left off from my last video. So we currently have the user face open and the server file open. And if you remember, this is what is preloaded when you start a new Shiny application. And if I run this, you can see we have our number of bins and our chart and our title. We're going to work on making this look a little bit prettier today. So we're going to use something called Shiny Dashboard, and it's a package. So if you haven't got it already installed, you will go to your packages, click install, and find it by typing Shiny Dashboard and install. I already have it pre-installed, so I don't need to do that. Once you have it installed, you need to add it to your library list so that it will load up when you start your application. There we go. And then we're going to start tweaking this slightly. Now, a Shiny dashboard is made up of a dashboard page, dashboard header, dashboard sidebar, and dashboard body. So we're going to start with our dashboard page. And that's going to have everything included in it. We're going to add our header, which is now going to be our title. So we're going to move our title from here. I'm just going to pop it up here. Now for the header, these brackets are going to include just this. And you'll notice as I go left and right over any particular bracket, it will tell me where the corresponding bracket, closing bracket is, or opening bracket. It's like that. For the user interface, between lines, we're going to look at putting a comma. So if you've got two brackets, you won't put a comma in between the two brackets, but if you have a bracket and then a new line of code, you'll need a comma. So once we have our header, we're then going to add our dashboard sidebar. And within our sidebar, we are going to place our sidebar slider input that we had previously. I'm going to pinch that and move that up there. So again, if I highlight where this bracket is, you can see our opening brackets here. It's going to include our slider input and closing bracket at the bottom here. Again, we then want a comma because we're going to move on to our next bit, which is our dashboard body. And we're going to place our plot output into here. Now, don't need any of this stuff anymore, so we've now moved it into a Shiny dashboard layout. If you could do Control A to select everything and then press Control and I for indigo, it will make sure everything is lined up correctly within your code. If I was to miss a comma off, you'll see that you will get an error message come up, and it's saying that it's expecting a comma after the expression. So if we now run our application, you can see that we now have a title bar, we have our sidebar, and we have our bin slider in here, and we have our histogram within that. So we can add this further. So say that we actually wanted to put our plot output inside a box, and we actually only wanted that box to take up, say, half of the width of our screen. So we're going to put it into a column first, and that column width is going to be equal to 6. Now the entire width is going to be 12 for any screen. So 6 is going to take up half of our screen width. Then we want to put a box in there. and that box is going to be the width 12. It's now going to take up the whole of that column. So we've already told it that the column is going to be half of our screen. And the box is now going to take up the whole width of that. We can set a status for our box. So there is a few different ones. Primary, I would think it is a green top, and then you can get red, blue, and a few others as standard. So let's move our plot now to within that box. We've got our column, which surrounds our box, and it's still enclosed within our dashboard body, which is enclosed in our page. So if we run our app now, sorry, blue top, not green, you can see it's now in a box. It's got a little blue top to it, and it is taking up half of our page. So we could put in another box here if we wanted. We could put some text then underneath, and we can add to this even further. So there's lots of different things and elements that we can now build on top of this. The layout is always built as, say, we can use columns, but we can also use rows. So depending on how you want your layout structured, you can break it down into those rows and columns, so that you kind of can lay out whether you want something to be all lined up this way or landscape, or a mix, depending on how you want that laid out. If you click on these, then we can make the bar disappear, and we could have in this bar different tabs. So we'll look at adding those in next time, and we'll look at tab boxes next time as well. But I'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.